fixing some things while I'm live. Make sure I can be heard good. Let's do that like that. I need to be able to make sure that my stream can be heard and that the music's not too loud. So we just chilling. I think I've got this figured out. Let me throw in my sound effects. I think I'm getting some things figured out properly. Oh, I gotta turn that off. I guess I figured out how to do it. A couple of people in the building that said, "What up? Hi, what up?" Just updating some stream settings, make sure everything's good to go over here. You can pop in and say what's up. Don't know how long I'm going to be. Just want to make sure that everything's functioning good. Volume's not too loud. Music's not too loud. My soundboard is working. Let me get you a thumbs up. If you heard that, give me a thumbs up. That would help me tremendously. And let me figure out how I want to do this. I can adjust the opacity, size, what's padding. Okay, so somewhere around here. Align messages from the top or bottom. I can choose. Let's see. I like the rounded. The rounded's a lot easier to see. If you do pop in, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm over on the East Coast and it is midnight, 12:13. Huh, gain some subs. Appreciate you tuning in. Looks like that stuff set. What else I gotta figure out? Make sure everything's 1080p for me. Looks like I am live on all platforms. Okay. What up? I'm gonna assume that's Jorge Becerra, however you say it. Appreciate you tuning in. Let me know where you tapping in from. I'm just updating my stream settings. I haven't streamed all week this week. Some of that had to do with some bad sleep. Other parts of that had to do with some changing in technical stuff that I had going on. So I'm trying to make sure music's not too loud, my audio's good, and my soundboard is working. Other than that, I'm just chilling. Unless anybody has something that they want to talk about, can certainly bring that up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this thing. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. There's a conflict going on in Iran. People are losing their life. I was in aviation and we had some tragic news that happened in the aviation community. Not the best news. Any loss of life is tragic, especially when it's unexpected. There was a shooting down in Virginia, not too far from me, Old Dominion, in which a bunch of students band together and whooped up on the shooter, apparently murked him, took his life with their bare hands. A lot of craziness. Trying to make sure that my music selection too is YouTube approved and all other media platforms approved so that it doesn't get banned. So far, it looks like YouTube's holding up. My green check mark's holding up because your boy is monetized. Facebook's not tripping, so that's good. How far are we into this live? I want to make sure that my typing's not too loud either. Since my microphone's right here, and I don't have my compression settings and stuff set up yet. That click clack is not too loud. What else is going on around the world? Let's take a quick look. I heard travel plans is getting expensive. Oh yeah, let's look this up. What up, real CP? Appreciate you tuning in. What about the Dak Prescott situation? I think Dak is smart. I think Dak is smart. Let me put that up on the screen here. I think it doesn't matter what your gender is, man or woman. If you have assets, you should protect them. It's my understanding, and I don't know if I'm fully caught up on everything that came out about it. I heard that he was engaged and that he's now no longer engaged because she wouldn't sign the prenup. Other parts that came out because, there's always two sides to a coin or people that want to spin a certain narrative was that, he was out doing his thing, right? Living that free agent lifestyle. And some arguments ensued from that. I don't understand if you are a person, I'm gonna specifically speak for men actually. If you are a man that has access to resources, money, and you've got all of the markers of having attractive people come after you, right? I don't understand the reason for getting married. Let's just be honest. Why would you want to? Unless you get in a situation where you want to have some things set up for some legal purposes, but he'll figure it out. He will figure it out. I'm, I'm trying to get to the point to where we get people to finally understand and learn and really get the gravity of the situations that they're making and figure it out at a young age. Because let me see, how old is that person? How old is Dakota Prescott? That's not, I mean, 8 years younger than me, 8 to 9 years younger than me. He's essentially an OG in the game, and he's got to make better decisions so that the people behind him can learn, or they can come in and learn the hard way. But I'm curious, real CP, what you think? Yeah. So the latest that I'm looking at now, rumors of infidelity is what sparked it. Let me see if I can bring this up on the screen because I got to test this out too. I see this is good to know. I have to be able to figure this stuff out here. So if I share this, I think you're gonna be able to see all of my tabs. Yeah, you'll be able to see all of my tabs. So I gotta fix that. What is it? F5? Nope. F6? Nope. I don't even know what it is. Turn on Array browser? Nope. There's a way to make that bigger. That's what she said. There we go. F11. No one knew the real reason up until now, but apparently Prescott was caught cheating. Again, why get married if this is the real reason? I think it's a mix of a lot. All right, I gotta figure out something else here too. So let me pause the music. And if I want to share a screen that's got audio on it, let me figure this out. All right. Can that be heard? Let me see. Y'all probably can't see this though, so let me then. Nah, I don't like that. Okay, so I think y'all should have been able to hear that. Let's see. I think he did not play the game correctly. All that money, and he was not shown how to. He was not shown how to use logic. When you have the level of access that he has, it doesn't make sense to make certain decisions, in my opinion. Now, it's my understanding, and I don't know Dak's situation like that, but he is a father of two. Let me see. Let me look this up here. Let's do it this way. Many kids does Dak have? Two daughters, both with his now ex fiance. First kid, he stair stepped him almost. Well, not really a true stair step. First kid was born February 2024. The next one after that, May 2025. Dummy. Despite calling off the wedding in early 26, they continue to co-parent their daughters. She still is going to have a level of access to him. And it is what it is. I don't know how long they've been together as well. She'll bounce back. She'll be all right. She already got him anchored. Big dummy. Ron Wayne is in the building. Said, King, what up, Ron? Appreciate you tuning in. This was an unplanned stream as I try to figure out my technical situation over here. Get things started to where I could get back to my morning live streams. Let me take a look here. I appreciate you put. What are you doing up, Ron? Let's see. What's this guy talking about? Oh, nope, that's got music. Back that up. All right, let's get this back going. This is insane. Looking at the median prices of homes right now. It's ridiculous. Ron said, "Tis the weekend. That's all I got." I should be in the bed. Okay, and my Nightbot working. I forgot I got my Nightbot set up as well. Why do you think it seems that the number of men sports figures at high levels that have to marry these women and give them a come up, but not vice versa? What I'm going to say may not make sense. There's a joke that people say it's encoded in our DNA. I think it's encoded in men's DNA to want to provide and want to do certain things. I don't think it's a cultural thing. The second part of your question was, why is it not vice versa, right? If you got the ladies in college sports, think about this. If you're a peak, how many how many college or professional athletic women do you see with non professional looking people, whether it's another man or woman? Typically, you don't see them mating that. They're with other professionals as well, and I think a lot of it has to do with image, but the other part of it is human nature. I heard somebody say something that cracked me up, that if you can, for the average man, whether they've got a lot of resources to them or not, it doesn't matter what their significant other um, looks like for the most part. I mean, looks matter. Don't get me wrong, looks matter, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Doesn't really matter how much they make, as long as they bring them, peace and support at the end of the day. Give the man that, and he will give you the world. And I believe that. Truly believe it. And I also think part of it, I don't know, like cultural pressure. The amount of people that are around them. All right, I think y'all can hear that bleeping. Notification will turn off. Um, the amount of people culturally that are likely getting in these ears, being about certain things. And then when you have people that are right there with them, probably telling them what they should and shouldn't do. You should do this. You should do that. You got it. You don't need to worry about it. And then when it's constantly sitting on your shoulder like that, got to get a lot better about being able to tune out that kind of noise. And for the amount of people that even want family and stuff at that age too. I remember, and I was having this conversation with somebody at the VA clinic yesterday or Friday afternoon. It's Saturday morning technically now. Me and the guy that was checking me in, the nurse, were about the same age, and I saw some paintings behind him that his kids made for him, and, I asked, how old his kid was, and he said, "Oh, he's got 2 very young kids." And he asked me about mine. I said, "Well, I have a daughter that's a freshman in college." And he laughed. He said, "Wow." He said, "That's hilarious that we're the same age. I'm just getting started with my 2, and you have one that's a college freshman." I had after when I was quick math, 21, 22. Me and her mom, initially when me and her got married, I said, "I only wanted to think about kids in my 30s." That didn't last. Obviously, I lost that battle, and there's trade-offs to being able to, um, have your kids at an earlier age to where when you get in your 40s, you're likely at some of your peak earning years, and a lot of people talk about that. You can look at the some data as well. If you get into the workforce in your 20s, you build up on yourself, you get to your 40s, that's around your peak earning years. It can plateau around your 50s, and then if you're looking at 55 and older, now you're looking at getting towards the retirement, things like that. And if you're military, like I am, and you're able to get into the military at 17, 18, get you to 20 plus years, and they've changed the retirement the way that it is now, but it's still a good retirement setup. Get out, work another job, and retire from that job. By the time you're 55 plus, you straight. But that takes a lot of foresight to make happen. What was the last movie or series that I watched? Well, the last series that I watched was Alex Cross season 2, and I thought it was phenomenal. And I go and see a lot of movies, so I can't tell you the last one that I watched, but I can tell you the next one that I'm going to go see. One of my homeboys, shout out to CQ of Pop Culture Warrior. Check him out on Tuesdays. He does a lot of pop culture content, video games, movies, TV shows, news like that, board games, all of that stuff. And he went to go and see a free screening of the movie with why am I blanking on his name? Ryan Reynolds? Not Ryan Gosling. And the movie is called Project Hail Mary. I'm gonna go see it in 40x. And him and another one of my homies said that this is likely going to be best movie of the year. He also said it's one of the best movies that he's ever seen ever. Project Hail Mary. Did I say his name right? Yeah, Ryan Gosling. Who else we got in here? Sandra Huller, Andy Weir, James Ortiz as Rocky. He said it was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. Me and my lady are gonna go check that out this upcoming Thursday. And for him, the endorsement that he gets is really good. Did I see Sinners? Yes, I did. I saw Sinners twice. I haven't seen it more than those two times. I saw them both at the movie theaters, so I haven't seen it at home yet. The real CP, are you aware of that stuttering incident at that awards ceremony in which a guy not stuttering? Why am I blanking on words tonight? It's late. Tourette's. The man that had Tourette's that got up there and at one of the most quietest moments said the hard ERN word, and there was some controversy that came around with it. I felt like the backlash that came out of that situation wasn't warranted. And I know a little bit about Tourette's. I know one person that has Tourette's, and there's different layers of what Tourette's is and how it affects people. But that's one of those conditions that, and it depends on the level of Tourette's that you have, right? You get to where and I'm blanking on the word again, but it's one of the ones where you say a lot of very inappropriate things. And some people go, well, he likely have said or is around people that say the word often enough that where he knows what the word is. And I'm like, hold up. The BAFTA Awards, thank you. If you watch a movie like Sinners, where they said, I looked at the script, and some people was like, well, they did the N word, but they didn't say the hard ER. I'm like, yes, they did. It wasn't a lot, but the hard ER word was said more than once. If you take a look at the script, and somebody that has Tourette's at the level and form that he has, you see a representation of something and a word that's associated with that from that movie, it's not a stretch to me that somebody with Tourette's would then say that. And I follow there's Sweet Anita, who I can say off the top of my head that showcases her Tourette's. There is a young lady, and I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's very visible on Instagram. She also had a show where she's dating this guy, Callan or Colin. She goes, Colin. She says a lot of very inappropriate words. So I think that the backlash that happened around that was unnecessary. And think about this: the BAFTA award situation was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. It was in the news cycle, out the news cycle. But I thought Sinners was a really good movie. Real CP, what did you think about the movie? What did you think about the movie? I'm real curious what others thought. I haven't found. I've only heard one person that said that they didn't really enjoy it, but they couldn't really say why they didn't enjoy it. I think that Ryan Coogler as a writer and a director is fantastic. One time I was going down a rabbit hole where I was consuming content and I listened to Ryan Coogler talk about Sinners and the making of it and how they filmed it using different lenses for different formats. And depending on the theater that you went to, you could get the chance to experience it using those different formats. And he went into a very nerdy, technical jargon about the way that the different formats, capture certain stuff, and you can tell that somebody that masters uh, his craft. So I'm looking forward to future projects that Ryan Coogler does. I also like to meet him. I think he'd be a cool person to meet, and I also think he has a stutter. A lot of people don't. I have a speech impediment. I am a covert stutterer. I hide my stuttering really well. So as people talk, I can pick up on things as I'm a I'm also in a couple of different stuttering groups. Recipe said it was a great movie, had a lot of messages, man. It was, and I think I would need to see it a couple of more times to really capture everything. The biggest thing that I got from the movie was how the main protagonist um had they essentially had to sacrifice a lot to get to the top. And that message, that part right there, at 41 years old, I can go back and think about stuff that I did when I was in high school, stuff that I did early in my career and things like that, that I'm like, man, I could have been better, rated a lot, higher, did well if I would have made some of those early sacrifices to become cream of the crop. Put in that extra time in the gym when I was playing football, taking that extra time to study. Man, I was out, I'm gonna say I was chasing girls. I wasn't that type of a guy, but I allowed my focus in my early ages to be pulled this way and that way. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but the protagonist in the movie of Sinners, he was he was here with it, sold his soul, so to speak, too, but ended up, you know, coming at it with greatness. And see, ask others if there was some crackling in the audio. See, that's what I need to hear. So let me stop. The audio that I'm using, or the new mixer that I'm using, a lot of people said that there's some crackling. So let me put it up to where I can hear too. There might be some cracking. I don't hear it on my side when I'm listening, but if anybody else has any crackling, please let me know. Let me stop the music and see if that helps. Audio is a bit garbled. Ah, I really wish they did not mess with my settings. Let me thank you. And shout out to you, Paul. Why are you up and not working out somewhere? All right, so audio is a bit garbled. So let me do this. Let me take off voice focus. Let me take that off. Cleans up your audio using AI powered noise and echo reduction. So now that that's off, I'm wondering if my audio is a little bit cleaner. Let's see. That sells better or that sounds better. All right, so I turned off some of like the AI enhancement features, and it's really weird because I can hear the difference, but I didn't catch that garbling and stuff earlier. So hopefully it's better. Paul said, I'm a night owl. I'm normally not, man. I'm normally not. I am having trouble sleeping, and this real CP says that it sounds better. Thank you. All right, let me turn back up the music. See if that also is messed up as well. Ooh, now the music's not even playing. Let's see. Huh? Why is it not playing? Fix one thing, and then I jack up something else. If I turn it back on, does it? That didn't fix it. Weird. Huh? This one? None of my audio. Oh no, this playing. Y'all can hear that. I tripping? I might have been tripping. I was tripping. Mm, mm, mm. I needed to turn this one up. There we go. Okay. Paul said I'm a night owl. Man, I'm awake for a couple of different things. Oh, snap. The garble sound is back. Maybe it is the music. So I gotta turn that off. Let me turn off the music. Music is off. All the AI enhancement stuff is off. We just gonna rock it just like this. I am having a hard time sleeping too. So while I wanted to also get my mixer and stuff figured out, I'm struggling with sleeping. There was a tanker, a KC-135 aircraft that crashed, and when you were okay, so it did come back, but now it's better. All right, well, no more music. When I ended up, seeing the news of what had occurred, um, and hearing about it, it messes you up. The tanker community is a small community. There's not a lot of people in the world that gets the chance to refuel airplanes in the air, and I am in that minority of people that did. And I have a lot of the aircraft forms that showcase some of the tail numbers that I've flown on. And when you get to some of the deployed locations, you were flying on a lot of the different fleet and things that's out there as they rotate the planes through different bases and things like that. And since the start of the Iran conflict, because I'm hesitant to say war, right? I'm hesitant to say war, and I need to turn off Discord. How do I turn off Discord? Because that is annoying, and I don't even think y'all can hear it, but I can. Let's get in here. Let's see Discord. Where you at? Uh-huh. And turn off. There we go. I think that's fixed. So, yeah, I'm struggling. Nope. Go on it. This is why we do this now. Let's do this. Control Alt Delete, and we're gonna close that this way. Done. But no, I'm likely gonna struggle sleeping tonight. It is what it is. I'm not a night owl. I am not a night owl. I got my CPAP ready over here, and when I end the stream, I am going to crash out. But since the start of this conflict that's been in Iran, there's been a couple of people that have lost their life. Most recently, 6 crew members of a KC-135. And I'm telling people like I'm okay, but I'm not okay. It is tragic news. It is tragic news. There were the names of some guards, men and women that have also lost their life due to this conflict. Not even a week and a half prior, 5 or 6 or so odd days prior. No, actually, probably here about a week. And the longer this thing goes, the more that we're gonna get news like this. I tell people that I'm trying to, focus on the things that I can focus on. Make sure that I'm taking care of the things that I've got to take care of. And I think that's the best that anybody can do. Those that still have loved ones that are wearing the uniform, when you raise your right hand, you know that at any given time, you could get called up to go do something. And follow the lawful orders of those appointed over you. That's the mission. You get trained to do something, you go do it. I enjoyed my time when I was in, primarily because of what my job was and the people who I got to meet while I was also in. Met some dope individuals that I still keep in contact with to this day. A lot of them, because I came in 2002, so my 20-year mark would have been 2022. And if you are fortunate enough to make it that long in your military career, you've achieved something that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do. I forget what the curve is, but there's not a lot of people that enlist or get commissioned that come into the military that make it to 20 years and beyond. Shout out to all of the people that I know that's still in, had a good home in mind. And should I say his name? I'm not going to say his name, but he very publicly shared that he made the rank of E8, which is a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. And that's a rank that not a lot of people get to. He is one step away from the highest enlisted rank that one can attain. And there's different titles within that grade, that rank in that grade. But he's almost there. He's almost there. Both him and his wife are two active duty enlisted people with families, and they have to balance family life and military life while also being senior enlisted people. Well, one has a job that I have, and the other one supports that job. Where either one of them could be in a bad place in a bad situation in service of their country. Interesting times that we live in. Interesting times that we live in. Now that I know that the music is going to cause things to be garbled, I'm also wondering if I play sounds like if other videos if that's gonna jack up things too. I really wish the software and tech that I was using didn't change. I don't mind updates, but when you go from like version 2.1 to 2.2 to 2.3 to now you're on version 3 and everything looks different, of course something is bound to mess up. And it's in the first release. First releases of everything is always jacked. First releases of everything always tend to be jacked. What else is going on around the world? Let's see. DC area airports reopen after strong odor caused shutdown. Did somebody pass gas? Hold on, let me see if I can do this. My soundboard should have been heard. Chinese national arrested over attempt to smuggle 2,000 queen ants from Kenya. Doesn't sound smart to me, unless you was trying to get pizzade. You know what? It's funny. You could put something where the headline reads as jaw-dropping scale of troops wounded by Trump's war is leaked. And that's an article from the Daily Beast that has 2.6K comments. And when was this published? This was published at 2:19 Eastern. But then you get something that was published right after that that says woman with stage 4 cancer has no evidence of disease after life-changing transplant. This was published 3 hours later and has like a tenth of the comments. Just like they say that sex sells, war sells too, I guess. All right, so if I were to share, let me make sure that I can share my screen the proper way. And let me play a video too. Let me go to YouTube. YouTube. Let me find something that I know I can play that won't get me zooked. Hmm. Nope, can't play that one. Let me throw CGA up here. If I do this, all right, I think that should be heard. What do I think about AI? Man, I think that AI is something that it's here, right? It's here. It's not going anywhere. I use it every day. I think you've got to be smart about understanding what it is that you're doing with it. I didn't know I could do this. Okay, cool. So I could zoom in and zoom out right from here. And then let's see. Stop sharing. I think that everybody that is alive and has access to some type of computational, and I don't even know if that's a word, device should be smart and have at least a basic understanding of AI, LLMs, chatbots, all of that. It can enhance productivity. You can use it to ask the right questions or try to figure out what is the right questions to ask somebody. I'm actually in the process of doing something a little bit after I get done with this live stream where I'm going to take some of my how can I say this? I'm going to take some information that I just discovered and I'm going to put said information into one of the AIs that are out there, and then I'm gonna get it to ask questions, or I'm gonna get it to ask me questions, and then I'm gonna ask it questions, and then I'm gonna take some analysis of that and figure out what I need to do next. And I'm trying to talk without saying a lot, but I'm going to use the AI to benefit me. And that's what I think about it. My dad, shout out to him, he's not a fan of it. He doesn't think that it is something that should be used. And I can't even really understand his reasoning for saying it. I was My thing is you should take any available tool that you have and be able to leverage it to benefit you. It's increased my productivity. I use it a lot for my live streams whenever I want to get some ideas on how to storyboard things. I'll ask AI to sequence some of my topics for me. I did some research on some of my veterans benefits, right? The information's out there, but if you don't know how to find it or the right thing to type in, then it's garbage in, garbage out, right? Well, you could train your AI to find that information for you that you could use to benefit you in the long run. And that is what I think about AI. I think that everybody should use it as a tool and leverage it to benefit you. I watched a video in which a guy talked about how he sold his home without a realtor using AI. He used Chat GPT from start to finish. And I posted it on my personal Facebook page and was like, um, this right here would be something that I would use to save 2 to 3%, blah, blah, blah. And some of my friends who are realtors was, they were against it, and obviously they would, right? This is something that could move things away from them to where they were like, well, for sale by owners always been a thing, but unless you're really educated on the laws of real estate and just that fine print stuff, you may not be able to get the best deal for you. And that's where AI can come in. If I have this tool that I can leverage, and I've never sold a home before, right? Or even the opposite, where like I'm going to, buy a home, and there's things that a realtor, even if they're good, may not be able to cover everything. I could use AI, get them to analyze the contract and highlight things for me that I might need to question. Wait, why is this in here? Why am I being charged for this? Oh, I'm a veteran that is going to use the VA home loan, and either I might have forgotten about it, but that I have a benefit because of my rating, that if I'm going to go that route, that I might need to let my lender know so that the funding fee is something that gets waived. Stuff like that. Paul said it increases your productivity, but does it force you to develop your brain? A brain is like a muscle and it needs to be challenged. I agree. I think it can. I think it can. If you use I use both Google and Chat GPT, and I have the paid versions of both. I've had the paid version of Chat GPT since it allowed the average person to be able to pay for it. And you want to do some prompt building to where your AI doesn't just yes you, because I hear that a lot. I heard it today, not too long ago, where somebody said that the AI is going to always be like a yes man for you. Not if you prompt it to be a devil's advocate, so to speak. And that's what I've done with mine. I want mine to challenge me. I've always said this, and I forgot what book this came in or that I read this from. But if I were ever like mayor, I would want the deputy mayor or the vice mayor to be somebody that's not because you want to be able to advance stuff, but somebody that's not really aligned to me or somebody that's a yes person, I would prefer to have somebody that's the deputy that thinks a little bit different than me so that they could challenge some of the things that might be coming up for the city that I would need to, vote on or try to get initiated, whatever. I don't know the full duties of a mayor, but my main point is that if you are in a position of authority, top dog of something, have your deputy or somebody be somebody that's not a yes man or a yes woman. Take away the gender, whatever. I have my AI do that, and it's prompted to be that way. Because Paul, I don't disagree with you. Um, your statement that the brain is a muscle and it needs to be challenged, it does. Why can't AI do that? AI can certainly, um, you know, challenge you in your data. There's a prompt, and I've got a project. Can I? Yeah, I'm not gonna show it just yet because I don't want nobody to steal it. So I'm not even gonna talk. I'm not even gonna talk. You can create a project. I'll say this much: you can create a project in Chat GPT that can have your prompt essentially get it to where you're learning something new around us, like a certain subject each day. If you wanted to learn Spanish, this is crazy. If you want to learn Spanish, you can set up your Chat GPT to be a Spanish tutor for you. If you've got the voice part activated, you could even talk into it and get it to grade how your Spanish sounds. You can, if you're going to some place and you want to brush up on your language, you've got a tutor right there in Chat GPT. I haven't tried it with Google AI. Have I thought about doing AI movie clips or creating an AI clip yourself? Yes. I'm gonna send this link to myself. Give me a second. I saw something that was dope. And when I saw the breakdown of it, I was like, ooh, I could have done that. So one of my projects that I wrote down was finding a project and using my level, which I'm gonna say I've got under intermediate, but more than a beginner level knowledge of some of the video AI creation stuff that's out there that I already have access to, right? Not something that I'm spending an arm and a leg to be able to use. But let me find this video and send it to myself, and then I'm gonna play it. And if you grew up around the time that I did, you're gonna know what it is. And where's it at? I gotta find it here. Of course, I'm struggling to find it while I'm live. There it is. All right. So now I gotta send it to myself. Let me copy it. Go to the faces of books and send it to my messenger. Easiest way I can send myself stuff. All right. And then let me bring this up. If you have Facebook, go follow me. Matter of fact, let me post my Facebook page here. I have two Facebook pages. This is one of them. None of my stuff is private. So this is one, and that's where I post more at because that's literally me. And then I have like my brand Facebook page. Follow both of them. Let me do some shameless marketing out here. But I put both of my Facebook pages in the chat. All right, let's get in here. Let me bring this up. And then I gotta pause it real quick. Make sure my sound can play. All right, so that's going. But I gotta make sure. How do I do this? Share screen. window, and no audio. All right, here we go. Can I make this bigger? Damn. All right, check this out. Now that was Court Series on their Facebook page, which I'm going to do the proper thing and link their page here in the comment section. But yes, when I watched that, my first thought was that's actually not that hard. There are some technical things that I would still like need to learn, but I've created some stuff that I haven't published or posted yet that I'm looking at doing because the if you want to spend a good bit of money, you could create a lot of things faster. Well, I don't have endless bread like that. So for me, I'm able to do a video or two at a time. But I haven't talked about it because I don't want to spoil it and get it out there or whatnot. And it's kind of like a labor of love. But I've created a couple of different videos for a series that I'm looking at doing. Everybody can do it. It's actually not that hard. Let's see. I just clicked on your Facebook page to follow. Hey, bet. All right. Let me get that here and let me do the same and see if I can get it from here. It hasn't popped up on my end, but I appreciate you. I'm looking at something else too. Pete Hegseth's Pentagon faces backlash over 7 million lobster spree. Lobster and steak. One of the best times that we ate when we would go and get deployed would be whenever we would have the lobster and steak. Lobster. What? That's weird. I can see you. Oh, you know what? Maybe because you followed the other page. I'll figure it out. Tech issues abound. Hey, real CP, you do you do content? Because if so, I don't think I've seen. Uh, that's right. Yes, I had to go back. You just haven't done a video in a minute. That was one of the ones that I watched that Mr. Neely Fuller's easiest way to control someone. That one was an interesting video. I didn't see this one. Dr. King, why Black Americans face more. Let me play this one. No audio. Hmm. This is probably gonna have it double audio. But let me know if you can hear the audio now. Still no audio. Oh man, that's what I needed to know. It sounds like, from what I could see, it looks like it should be playing. All right, so if that's not playing over there, then I'm wondering. Let's try it over here. Let's try it over here. Let's do this one. All right. If you didn't hear that audio, give me a second. Oh, let me go back here.
Deceit and violence, all right? When the white supremacists have to fool their victims, that's the easiest way.
How's my audio now? I hear the video, but not audio. All right. Wait, now I see the video, but not audio. Okay, well, that's good. Let me try that. And then that's weird because it's looking like you should be able to hear it on my end. I'm gonna have to, man. See, this is why I'm glad I'm doing this now instead of next Monday when it's not gonna work the way that I'm thinking that it's supposed to work. Hmm. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to end here. The real CP, Paul, those that commented, thank you, because that feedback really helps me out with trying to get things figured out. I'm probably gonna have to do this a couple of times over the weekend just to make sure that I've got everything routed properly. Appreciate the feedback. I got to get this. I need to get Elgato to fix the crackling sound on their end, or I might need to switch and use a whole different tech setup for my audio going forward. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night or morning or afternoon, wherever you watching from, because we international over here. And I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trumpets blare the golden call. A throne awaits, I rise so tall. Drums like thunder, shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring.